Hello and welcome to Falcon Blues TV. I'm Callum Davis and I'm back with another match preview for this weekend's game where Everton are going to be hosting Liverpool. It's a midweek game, 8:15 kickoff on Wednesday the 1st of December, and we're live on Amazon Prime. Before we get into the video, if you wouldn't mind going down, liking and subscribing, we'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously we talk about last time out, the very disappointing away loss to Brentford, 1-0. It was two very poor sides, admittedly. They weren't great either, and I thought they were there for the taking from the off, but we didn't seize the initiative. We played the same way we always do. And one of the two sides who obviously pretty similar form-wise, one of them had to win. And I think we were just unlucky that it wasn't us because both sides, as I said, were very poor. We probably should have had a penalty, but they got their penalty. So it is a case of luck, but we were awful, toothless, didn't really look like scoring despite having all the possession and a few more shots in the second half. It's a very, very embarrassing result in what's been a pretty embarrassing campaign so far. Liverpool, on the other hand, just ran out 4-0 winners against Southampton. They look like scoring every time they go forward. Everyone on the pitch is scoring. It terrifies me Wednesday, honestly. It could be an absolute cricket score. Last time out we played them, obviously we did beat them at Anfield, a 2-0 win at the back end of last season. But previously we hadn't won in 20 before. I feel like a run like that could start now with the way that the team's looking, the squad's looking, and the fact that we have no money to spend at all. I can't see the next time we will even challenge these in a game, and I promise you it will not be on Wednesday, because people say, you know, form goes out the window for the derby, but it is pretty undeniable in this case. We also haven't won back-to-back derbies since the 1985-86 season, and things were a little bit different back then to the way they are now. At Goodison as well, Liverpool are unbeaten in their last 10, however 8 of the last 9 games have finished in a draw, which, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's the very best we can hope for, scraping a lucky draw, because we will not be winning this game, and I hope to be proved wrong, but you know, I feel like any sane Evertonian would be feeling the same dread that I'm feeling in the run up to this game. Now we're leaking goals for fun at the moment, whereas Liverpool have scored at least 2 in the last 17 games in all competitions. So while they might beat us, they might also embarrass us. It could be a Man United Liverpool performance, and I spoke to a few United fans, and it's one of the most embarrassing results for them in recent history, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they gave us a similar hiding when it comes around to it on Wednesday. We obviously are in great form, 1 win in 9. They've only lost 1 in the last 20 in all competitions. So the most that we can hope for is that we show a little bit of desire and we actually kick them. The Merseyside derby has seen the most red cards than any other fixture, which is 22. But by the way that these spineless players have been the past few weeks, I honestly don't think you'll hear a whimper from them. They'll just go out quietly, and it's going to be pretty quiet, convincing victory for them. It could be embarrassing. Injury news, slightly more positive. Obviously, Richarlison's back from suspension, and Takore managed to play in the last game. It does make a big difference when he's there, but obviously with the list of absentees that we do have, there's only so much that one man can do when he comes back in. Calvert-Lewin looks unlikely, even though he re-entered light training. Would have been a good one to have, because the fans are really getting sick of Solomon Rondon up front, and so am I, to be honest. I thought he looked slightly better against Brentford in the fact that he had a few little turns and shots, but that is compared to what's been a host of really, really bad performances anyway. So the bar was so low that a slightly better performance is still far, far below what we need to have up front. Calvert-Lewin would have been there for at least 2 of those balls that Gray put in when he came on. Gray is another one, obviously, who managed to come off the bench, play the last half an hour, 20 minutes or so at Brentford, and he looked lively, but he was our only source of any creativity, because the whole plan was, let's give it to him and just hope that he does something, and he was passing and moving and no one was helping him at all. Mina is the final one where no one still really knows what's going on. I'd assume he's out, and that the back four will stay pretty similar. Liverpool have had a few little injuries, but nothing too major. Joe Gomez and Naby Keita are both unlikely, as is Curtis Jones, who's been suffering from an eye injury I read somewhere. And then Roberto Firmino is the other one who will not be fit at all, which means that Jota will fill in, who's been on fire anyway, so it's not really much of a loss. I can't imagine the Everton team will change too much. The back five will stay the same: Pickford, Coleman, Dean, Keane and Godfrey, provided Mina makes a miraculous recovery. And then you'd assume Decore and Alan will be just in front of them. Iwobi cannot play. If there is anyone else available, Iwobi cannot play. With Gray being back fully fit, you like to think it'll probably be Townsend, Gray and maybe Gordon. I didn't think Gordon was great against Brentford. He beat his man a couple times, but he's raw and at least he tries hard. And in a game like this, where we're not going to have much of the ball, we just need someone who's going to try hard, and because he's a local lad, he might actually understand what it means to play in a game like this, or might be slightly emotionally invested. Wouldn't be my first choice, but you know Rondon will start up front if Calvert-Lewin again doesn't make a miraculous recovery. I'm kind of sick of digging Rondon out. Like, he'll do what he'll do, and there's not much we can do about it really. Liverpool, on the other hand, the team is always pretty set in stone, provided they don't have any newer injuries. You'd imagine Alisson in goal, Van Dijk and Konate at the back with Robertson and Alexander-Arnold. The midfield three will probably be Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago, who seems to be scoring a few more lately, just in time. And then the front three names itself: Salah, Mane and Jota. It's a frightening team. The starting 11 is just, we can only dream of being anywhere near that. And it's just even more testament to why I think that they're going to absolutely obliterate us on Wednesday. So as I mentioned, it's quite a big game for them more than us. Although we aren't exactly miles away from the relegation zone. We're only 6 points off 18th place Burnley, and we've got them in a few weeks. In the new year. So is it time we start looking over our shoulder now to the teams below us, because we are in very, very, very poor form, and the run of fixtures that we have coming up now with Arsenal, with Leicester, with I think we might have Chelsea as well. I honestly don't know where our next points are coming from, and I feel like a lot of the people, a lot of Everton fans are the same. We genuinely could be in a relegation dogfight come Christmas time. Them on the other hand, they're third in the league. I think they're just 2 points off the top, so they're obviously still fighting for that. Honestly, it could be a cricket score. And with our run of fixtures, we could be rock bottom in the new year or around there. In terms of a prediction, I'd be crazy not to say anything other than like a 3-0 Liverpool win. The best we can hope for is a draw, but I don't see us getting that. I'll be amazed if we get it. And the main thing that I'll be looking out for is the way that Benitez reacts to the away support. I think even the slightest nod, the slightest acknowledgement, the Everton fans will explode. If you saw videos of the away end at Brentford after that performance, it wasn't very good. And I think if he does anything to do with the Liverpool fans, a wave, a clap, I think he'll be signing his death warrant. And I could see, if it's an embarrassing performance, I could see the board maybe looking to getting rid of him. But with this board, you can't predict anything that they're going to do, because they've ran this club so poorly for so long now. And I think a lot of Everton fans just want to see a bit of change and something to hope towards. You can let us know in the comments down below what you think, if you're a bit more optimistic than I am, but I doubt I'll find many out there that are. Thank you very much for watching, and up the toffees.